Well, today we're on a little adventure. Got my dog with me, Ginger. My wife's walking behind me. And we're looking for a little known village, Native American village. Specifically, these are the Plains Miwok. And there's a village mentioned in a book that I was reading. It was written about 50 years ago. It was based on a doctoral thesis by an archaeologist. This village was mentioned by some early researchers back in the early 1900s, late 1800s, and they gave some rough estimation as to where this village was. They gave some landmarks, but nothing specific, and in fact, this village has never actually been found, the exact site of it anyhow. There's just some general directions, some general idea as to where the village might be. There's an interesting rock formation right here. But from those general directions, I've got an idea of where the village might be. And in fact, I've been searching this area, this general area, several times, and have found a number of bedrock mortars that would indicate that I'm on the right track for finding the village. But I want to find some additional information that would make a more positive identification. Now let's take a look up there. Look at this rock formation, and you can see, what's that at the base of the rock formation? Does that look like it could be a cave up there? Let's go up there and take a look. Yeah. Okay, this definitely looks like a cave. Let's see if there's any evidence of Native American habitation there. If so, this would help to provide some really good evidence that this is the site, or we're near the site, of the Native American village. Oh yeah, look in here. Okay, you can clearly see that there are a number of bedrock mortars here. Yeah, look at these bedrock mortars. So this is definitely a site where Native Americans lived at one time. And you can see there's quite a few bedrock mortars. This cave is pretty unusual. I found caves before, Native American caves, but I've never found one that had this many bedrock mortars in it. Hey, Ginger, get out of there. Now this is one of the interesting things in the cave. It's a bedrock mortar, or maybe it wasn't intentionally made as a bedrock mortar, although it has certainly has the shape of one. Oops, dog got in the way. Okay. Now, the dog's been drinking out of this because obviously there's some water in it, not much water left. But the water must have been coming from the ceiling of the cave. It rained within the last few days, and so some water could have percolated through this massive rock overhang and was dripping down into this area of the cave. And my guess is that the Native Americans, this would have been the Plains Miwok for this particular village, probably obviously recognized that there was water dripping down here. And so what they did was they dug a hole in the rock. They pounded out this rock so that there could be a basin for collecting water. That way they wouldn't have to go down to the river and get water when the weather was bad. You know, it'd just be a convenient reservoir for a little bit of drinking water here. Convenient spot to collect water and use it. Now let's, here we can see very clearly. Here's some close-ups. Oh, the dog's jumping up on me. Get down, get down. Yeah. Okay, there's a bunch of them here. I think I counted it. There's at least 13 bedrock mortars here. Imagine being in a cave during the winter when it's cold and raining. You are thirsty or need a little water for cooking, but the river is a third of a mile away. A more convenient source of water would certainly be highly desirable. Another benefit of this cave water was that it was relatively pure because it had been filtered by passing through the rock and soil above. This photo shows that the lip of the basin is much wider than a typical bedrock mortar. This is evidence that this hole in the bedrock was not made for processing acorns, but specifically made to catch water. Now you might think the small amount of water that the basin could hold would not be that important to the cave dwellers. But while the basin itself couldn't hold much water, when it did fill up, some of the water could have been scooped up and stored in watertight baskets. The Miwoks made baskets for carrying water and even for cooking. A basket could be used for cooking by filling it with water and then putting hot rocks in the water to heat the food. Did you previously notice the possible petroglyph on the rock wall right behind the basin? And just as a reminder, a petroglyph is a carving in rock that had some sort of meaning to the person who did the carving. Here is a close-up of what I think is a carving and not some naturally occurring grooves in the rock. To me, the grooves look like a symbolic representation of water flowing down into the basin. This carving may have been done to show respect and thanks for the gift of water. Tell me what you think. Is it a petroglyph or a naturally occurring rock feature that just happened to be next to the basin? Thanks for watching this video showing evidence of one of the villages of the Plains Miwok.